Hello there. So, we are back again with a new topic of discussion, and this time we have chosen a topic which has garnered a nationwide concern, and that is the alleged NEET examination paper leak. Children here have done their research because this is one area which concerns them directly. Sooner or later, they would also be subjected to the same system, so they should be aware of what is happening in their country with regard to education. Let's hear from them what is their take on it. Today, especially in this discussion, we are going to discuss what are the various factors responsible. What are the reasons that lead to such incidents taking place over and over again? First of all, I would like to ask students what do they think is the reason behind the paper leak in terms of personal or mental health of children? What leads to children taking such actions or their parents taking such actions?
One major reason is immense pressure on the students to perform well, which can push them to seek shortcuts.
From this, the student on impact that honest student which really study for the paper are suffering due to the uncertainty for stress, and many candidates are spending their years for preparing the papers, and re-NEET examinations can bring the mental pressure and financial the burden to their parents and the students. By the repeating of the leak, parents, students, and many more people are losing their trust on their national level exams.
Some parents and students are responsible for this, leaking the NEET paper. Some teachers are also responsible because they give practice sheet, but that is not practice sheet, that is real exam paper. This is leaking the NEET paper. Some parents want their children to be doctor. If they want to pay any money, they are ready with that.
In 2024, uh, the papers were in a truck stored. Then some people use a special tool uh, to unlock that truck, and they scanned the paper and give copies.
I agree with all points, and I also want to add, and I also think that there is also some political power which is helping to the paper mafia to leak, as according to recent research and recent news that a political party worker from Rajasthan, CBI arrested him because he bought a paper for by 20 to 30 lakhs and then he distribute to others. And also one thing that the worker's son is also giving NEET examination this year. And I also read that a renowned institute in Solapur, the owner of that institute is very renowned for success in NEET and JE, and he is the main leaker in Maharashtra who is distributor. So he is also included, and before this from institute many student has passed NEET and JE exam. So we can say that before this maybe this will happen from continuously. Before this leak, the paper has already leaked 5 times. So, and one more thing is there is a little bit means we've our logistic is also failing somewhere. To improve that thing, now the government has given the responsibility of transportation of paper and logistic is given to Air Force. Now the all logistic and transportation will Air Force will see in that, and I think next time we can hope from government that paper will not leak.
As you said that the recent case had before the NEET leak paper, there was a coaching where one sir was teaching them. The coaching, the sir had buy the paper and they had given the extra question to their students one day before the exam. So when their students solved the paper, it was completely same in the paper. So this is an case so that the teacher who teach us, they are also involved in the leaking of the paper.
In the NEET exam, some good students who study hard for the exam, but they get passed, but this is loss of theirs. And in this year 2026, the NEET exam papers was given before 2 days.
During the corona period, many students have cheated in the exam because the exam was conducted online and there was a poor monitoring at that time. I want to add one more point, which is competition among students to perform well from their friends.
Students which are giving the paper, sometimes the invigilators are their relatives or which they are in the relation with them. They also tell the answers of the question paper. So they are the team. It means that the paper and the teachers should be strict in giving the exams and student would not may cheated.
Children, I must commend your research. Everybody has read thoroughly. That is one thing which is obvious. So, all the points that you have covered, I would like to reiterate. Children are trying to say that this is not the first time this is happening. It had been our country's custom. It has become a routine that we are not very strict with the examination and we have very few resources to ensure credibility of the examination system. Also, children are telling that so many students, they or parents, in fact parents also, they are under a lot of pressure, because if the child doesn't get through the exam, they would have to cough out a lot of money to get their child into some college. So they believe that instead of giving 40 lakh donation later on, I'll pay 1 2 lakh for the cheating purpose. They don't think this is a wrong option. For them, it is like a viable option. Most of the parents, they belong to middle class family, middle class background, so they are under a lot of pressure. Because of them, students are under pressure that our parents have invested so much in our education, so we have to perform well. So children have reiterated the points very well, that students and parents are under pressure, that the child should score well in these exams. Then the other point which the students are trying to curate here are that problems with the logistics. The one who is setting the paper will send these papers to the local press, where for the sake of printing. Now over there, these people are not uneducated. They know what the paper is. They can always use their leverage to ensure that the leak takes place. And once this paper is out in the market, there is no way of stopping it. We never know if every child would not know this paper beforehand, because the way our logistics is badly damaged. And hence students have given the solution as well, that now the government has to go to the level of ensuring that they deploy army and air force into conducting these exams. This has become matter so out of control for our education system, for the CBSE. Also, children are saying that um, the other points which you covered were politics, isn't it? The politic without ministers being into the knowledge, and they have their own personal interest. You also said that sometimes people are motivated to leak for the sake of their relatives because their child, their some relative is part of this examination this year. So they are like, let's see where we can use our networking and our skills and our friendship. Where can we use our resources to make sure that we get this paper? And then you notice the point that even the truck could be robbed for the papers. So it is like a treasure these days. This paper is going to cost somebody 40 lakhs if they choose to give donation in the college. So the parents and students think it is only a better option to cheat and shell out 1 or 2 lakhs for the examination. So this is the situation in our country where 2.2 million students are appearing for exams every year for this medical entrance exam, and only 10 lakh medical seats are available. Now that we are saying that the credibility is under question, for sure it is under question, but then we also need to see what are the other options which are suitable for our children. If not medical field, there is so much of pressure in this field and so much of saturation that proper guidance, proper career counseling also needs to be taken. Not every child is meant to be a doctor. That is why this child is not able to get through these exams. Or sometimes, if this child is capable of being a very good doctor, but the system is putting this child so much under pressure that he has to excel to some superhuman standards. All of these point out to only one thing, that we need to do some serious discussion, and all the policy makers need to figure out some very important solutions so that we don't suffer in future. Children, while we go, do you know about some act which allows us to keep this under check? Because we have seen that if the punishment becomes more stringent, the crime rate goes down. Anybody who wants to share this point?
The act should be come in future that one who leak the paper starting from the first person, they should get the fine or they should go to the jail for this act. And CBI investigation is also used in that.
Wonderful. Yes. Any other point anybody wants to?
Sometimes the real candidate sends fake candidates to solve their exams, which is not allowed.
Any other point? Anybody who wants to finish?
In social media, there is also given the NEET paper, and there is also leaking of NEET paper.
Want to say something, sir? Very good point you have mentioned, that in the social media there are certain options wherein you won't be able to trace back the message also, at least not immediately. Also through the channels of various applications that make it very easy. Sometimes, like, children have noted that there was this trend when even the doctors were sent in the examination hall with the ID card of students to cheat. Now the process has changed. Now what they do is they leak the paper, and within few seconds they get all the answers, and the answers are also out and circulated very quickly. So yes, people are resorting to various ways and means to continue with the cheating. The medium have changed, but the intention is the same, and that is to be the best no matter what it takes. So we really need to dive deep into ourselves as a nation and think about our future, because ultimately this is going to put lot of pressure on students. Those who are studying, they are getting harassed, and those who are seeing how unfair the system is, even they are going to be demotivated. And this is not good for the sake of our country or for the sake of entire humanity. So yes, this was wonderful discussion, children. Well done. Thank you for listening.